see, stress is the disease of the 21st century. It is the fastest growing affliction in America today. You and I are under more stress today than any other previous decade, both pre-war and post-war history. And the best news I have for you is stress increases with age. How many of you are depressed? You're saying, it can't get any worse. Oh, yes, it can. The older you get, the more stress you're going to have. Did you ever remember your mama saying this to you or your daddy? When these kids are grown out of the house, life will be so easy and worry-free. I won't have to worry about any of this stuff. How many of you said that? So sure enough, we're out of the house. You know what's so funny? My mother worries more today than she ever did when we were at home. I said, Mother, why do you worry so much? Well, because I have more people to worry about. I said, what do you? I have to worry about my children, and then I have to worry about their spouses, and I worry about those that don't have spouses, and I have to worry about all the grandchildren. You should see my list about the grandchildren, and I worry about, are you on airplanes? And your father won't worry, so I have to take up all the slack for him, too. I said, blame it on Dad. Dad just sits there and he says, Ma, if you want me to worry, I will, if it makes you feel better, but it's not going to change a thing. You see, my friend, stress. 90% of what we worry about never happens. Why bother? You want to worry 10% of your day. I said, Mom, why do you worry so much? You know what she says? I don't know, it makes me feel better. I said, well, I'm going to cure you. You are? I'm going to have all the kids move back in with you. Oh, don't do that. You know what my biggest fear is in life? I'm going to raise my son Preston. He's going to move back in with me. How many of you have that fear? How many of you have that already happening to you, where they move back in your house? I said, honey, we're going to move into a one-bedroom so they never come back again, right? But you see, understand is, we're in the people business, and you know what we found out? Things are not stressful, people are. If I were to have a cup of water right here in my hand, it creates no stress for you. But the minute I take the cup of water and I were to throw it on you, isn't that amazing how fast I could create stress for about the front row? You see, it's not that cup of water that creates stress, it's people. And what do you deal with all day long? People are stressful. Hey, parenting is not stressful. It's kids that are stressful, isn't that right? You see, driving to work every day is not stressful for me. It's all of your driving that is stressful for me. The telephone is not stressful. It's the person on the phone. So let me show you how America wakes up every day. See, I want to change your stress levels. How many of you have what I call as the Sally Sunshine in the office? You walk in the minute, she says, good morning, hello, hi, How many of you have those people? And I think, what are you on? Or I think, where did you go this morning that I don't go? Why are you so happy in the morning? Because here's the way most of your mornings begin, I know. Doesn't your morning look like this at home before you get to work? You wake up in the morning, those of you with children, don't you remember this? You wake up and you go, good morning, everybody, rise and shine. Your mother's calling you. Don't you do that? Nice music in the background. And you have a child upstairs, and son, you need to get up. I've called you 3 times. You don't want to make mother late today. I'm not going to school! Have you ever heard that word? And I said, well, let me come upstairs and sit down and chit-chat with you this morning and motivate you because your mother has plenty of time. Isn't that what you say? And then you go upstairs and you sit down and say, son, why don't you want to go to school? You have to go to school. Oh, Mom, I hate school. Why? Because all the teachers hate me. All the kids hate me. Everybody hates me. Well, son, you're 40 years old and the high school principal. I think you need to go to school. And pretty soon you go downstairs. Have you ever noticed what happens? You go downstairs, and you know what psychologists tell me? That we bond during breakfast. Really? Oh, yes, you sit down and you chat, and you visit, and you eat a healthy breakfast, and you get dressed, they get dressed, you get in the car, you go to school, and then you go to work, and you walk and you go, good morning, America. Is that what it looks like? How many of you have houses that look like that? Let me show you how 99% of our families wake up. Excuse me, let me go to the other side. I think it looks like this. You see, in the morning, why is it that our voice says this? We wake up and we go, get up! How many of you have that guttural sound in the morning? Get up! I mean, have you ever noticed that? How many of you would like to wake your partner up like that in the morning? Honey, get up! Oh, they'd slap the tar out of you, but we wake our own children that way. I mean, son, you better get out of bed. I mean, if you don't get out of bed, I'm going to bust your bottom. If you don't get out of bed, how many of you said this? If you don't get out of that bed, I'm going to ground you. That's it, you're grounded, you're grounded, you're grounded. How many of you have grounded your children? Now, look at the stress you're going through, and they haven't even moved. They haven't even budged. Pretty soon I say, all right, you're grounded for life. Don't even bother to come out of that room. How many of you do that one? Then you go downstairs for breakfast, and it looks like this. Hurry, hurry, go, go, move, move, shove, shove, hurry up, eat this, eat that, eat that. Little girls go, Mother, what? I'm not eating breakfast. Oh, yes, you are. If I have to shove it down your throat, you're going to eat breakfast this morning. I got up at 5 o'clock to fix breakfast for the family. How many of you know your children go to school like this? I'm hungry. My mom didn't feed me this morning. No, I never have breakfast. She never. How many of you know they do that? And I have a little boy that gets up and does this. Mom, what? I forgot to fix my lunch. Oh, great. You just starved one day, son. You'll remember the rest of your life about food. Isn't that right? Hurry, hurry, go, go, move, move, shove, shove. You jump in the car, and how many of you push traffic with your face? Go, move, get out. And I look at people in the morning, whoa, you just pushed that semi right through that intersection with that facial expression, lady. And then we get to the elevators in the morning. I go, does it come any faster? Yes, if I keep pushing it, it's going to come a little faster. Isn't that right? And you know what? By the time you get to work, you're exhausted. How many of you are exhausted by the time you get to work? You've just gone through 380 bleeps of stress a day. But I'm going to show you how we can relieve some of that stress. I want us to start our morning stress-free, but there are some diversions for stress. Does anybody know what the number one killer for stress or depression is? Go ahead. What is it? Anybody know what the number one killer for stress or depression is? Suicide. Who said that? Oh, she said exercise. Excuse me, exercise. Excuse me. Well, how many of you think it sounds a lot alike? Suicide, exercise, right. How many of you think you just committed suicide after you go exercise for 45 minutes? But you see, the number one cure for stress or depression is walking. Isn't that amazing? I love it. Jogging's out, walking's in. Just multiply your body weight times 3. How many of you are depressed right now? That means when you jog, your body goes whoop, and goes right down, times 3. You see, it's called high impact, short duration. Walking is low impact, long duration. Next is called verbalization. It means get it off your chest. You know what I found out? Men and women handle stress differently. How many of you realize that men and women are different? See, men, here's how you handle stress. You swallow it, you put it in your chest, and you hide it right there. Therefore, you die younger. You die of more heart attacks than women. You know how I know you're under stress? Hi, how are you doing? Fine. What's the matter? Nothing. Are you okay? Yeah. You want to talk about? No. They have all those grunt words. Okay? Now, women take stress. They swallow it, they put it in their chest, and all of a sudden they hide it right here, but they do this. It comes out their mouth. They become emotional. They cry. Ladies, have you ever cried for no reason at all at work? Come on, tell me you have. Have you just been sitting there and going, oh, I don't was running out of cry. I don't know. I'm okay, really. I'm okay. Have you ever cried in the car on the way to work, on the way home? You guys get in the car at night with your honey. She looks perfectly normal. 2 minutes later, down the road, you hear this. And the first thing you guys do is look out the window like, who is that? Or you look up here, you look down here, you turn the radio on. Is that the radio? Pretty soon, honey, say, yes, what's the matter? I don't know, I just have to cry. How many of you have had that experience? That is normal. We are releasing our stress, therefore we live longer. Ladies and gentlemen, women speak 23,000 more words a day than men. Yes, only 23,000 more words a day than men. So please understand, I raised a boy. Here's the difference. Preston walks in and go, hi, son. Where did they learn that word? Where are you going? Out. Oh, that's an interesting conversation. Who are you going with? Friends. Where you guys going? Nowhere. When are you coming out? Later. How's school? Fine. What's new in your life? Nothing. What kind of conversation is that? Stress. Ask a little girl, Sally, where are you going? Well, did you know that first of all I have to call my friend Martha, and then how many of you have this yakety yak tick 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 tick? Okay, hush. I just need to know where you're going. I don't need to know all that. What's so funny when little boys grow up? They don't change. They don't change, right? You guys go home. She says, hi, honey, how's work today? Fine. What's new? Nothing. You okay? Yep. Honey, you go to the same job every day. When something changes, I'll let you know. So all I'm saying is, learn to verbalize your stress. Diversions. Guys, today, you did a great job by coming to this video conference. Why? Because it gave you a diversion in your job. You got away from what you're doing. Re-energize, revitalize, remotivate yourself. And last is called planning. But most of all, I love laughter. Laughter is the greatest stress releaser. So just remember, when you're all stressed up and have no place to go, eat